tricks.
They say no more supply and demand. So let's take care of that supply and demand. We're going to hold Johns accountable. We're going to hold our neighborhoods accountable. We already got our police force being held accountable. Sandy Pappas has already talked about holding our policymakers accountable. So we're going to do that today. And I'm here to really kind of talk about what it means in our community, what it means in the Frogtown, Rondo, and Aurora St. Anthony neighborhood. Do you know when I started 10 years ago, 11 years ago at Aurora St. Anthony, one of the biggest issues was hearing stories from my residents talking about my mama can't even walk to the bus stop without being solicited. My young daughter can't walk down the street without being solicited. In our playgrounds and on our recreation centers, there's evidence of prostitution, condoms, needles, and even the fact that they've seen folk in the act. You know what is appalling to me is that we blame the victim instead of the miser, the Johns. We are so proud of the John School that has been started by Breaking Free, because we get to talk to Johns face to face about their acts and their actions on our community. Already this neighborhood gets a bad rap. Already people say, don't go there to live. It ain't a good neighborhood. So we got to take hold of this and get these Johns out of here. Send them all back to Dinah. What you say, Egan? Call them out. Where else? Duluth. Heaven forbid, Duluth. St. Cloud. Mankato. Oh, we got to send them. We got to send them back because we're just not having it. Know that these folk don't come from our neighborhood. So, if they don't do it in their neighborhood, then are we going to allow it in ours? No. I say the answer is what? No. Thank you. And I just want to end by saying again that what you got? God voice,
Got power.
God voice,
Got power.
God voice,
Got power.
Without no voice, you got no power. Thank you.
And once again, we want to thank each and every one of you for coming out. The St. Paul Police Vice Unit, you guys, we love you. You're always here every year. We really would just want to give you a thanks. These guys are the ones who work with us really well. Firsthand, they bring them to us instead of going to jail. As a survivor of this program, I'm living proof that this works. There's a few of us out here who are now moving out of one kind of life and into another. We're getting ready to march for our girls that we have lost. This is about you believing in what we're here to fight for, which is for the demand to stop. Because like she said, the supply and demand is what this is about. Till we hold them accountable. These are your daughters. These are your sisters. These are your kids' kids. Okay, so you're speaking out for all of us. So I want you to know this, these are our chants. So start reminiscing them in your head here. We will not be bought, sold, or traded at any price.
We will not be bought, sold, or traded at any price.
Okay, good. Keep that going. Pimps and Johns go home. Leave our kids alone.
Pimps and Johns go home. Leave our kids alone.
I would take your kids because you don't sound like you mean it. Okay? Oh. Tricks are not for kids.
Tricks are not for kids.
Hello. Get out of our community.
Get out of our community.
And okay. And the demand, stop buying our children.
And the demand, stop buying our children.
I see somebody here that has to be recognized. Senator Harrington over here. That was the chief of the St. Paul Police that assisted us in a big way. Helped us get a lot of things done, and I just want to recognize you and thank you for coming tonight.
Amen. Yeah. Drinks are not for kids.
so proud of everyone that is standing up and fighting for the rights of women. Abuse of women is prostitution. I ought to know. I was there. This is a wonderful, wonderful thing that's going on. Every city should have this. And they should leave our kids alone, not traffic them and abuse them. You'll hear them talking. They're saying exactly what they feel in their hearts. These are women that have been there, been back, have been hurt, beaten, abused, raped. They finally have a voice to speak out now. Going to go silent. We're going to be quiet now for the women that have no voice. Their voices have been buried under the ground and not being able to ever speak again. Women that are abused into prostitution is the most heinous crime a man could ever commit, is buying a woman. They're not for sale. Women are not for sale. We will be silent as we go back with the candles. We've lost 4 women to murder by their pimps this year, and that is so wrong. We must fight back this abuse of women. It's no way possible that men think that it's okay to buy a woman. It's wrong. It always will be wrong. It'll never be right. And until they realize that it's wrong, we'll keep fighting.
Kids alone. We will not be bought or sold at any price. We will not be bought or sold at any price. Chicks are not for kids. Chicks are not for kids.
It's so wonderful to see how many supporters that we have here. The awareness is being taken lightly, which is great. They're out here now coming from all over, colleges, churches, law enforcement. We are making a statement. So there are wonderful things happening, and this is only the beginning.
I know. We're going to fill the streets.
Yes, ma'am, we are. Give me a love.
I love you.
I love you too. I love you too, honey.
You work so hard.
Thank you, baby. So do
Thank you.
We will not be bought or sold at any price. Tricks are not for kids.
Tricks are not for kids.
Pimps and Johns go home. Pimps and Johns go home. Leave our kids alone. Leave our kids alone. We will not be bought or sold at any price. We will not be sold at any price. Tricks are not for kids.
We are so proud to have him here. He helps take the girls to a safe house instead of putting them in jail, which is my biggest thing is I want the Johns and the pimps to go to jail, and I want the girls to be helped.
That's right.
And that happens in Canada, in Sweden.
Yes.
But that's because it was all women in the parliament. I guess you've heard that before.
Yeah, I've heard the story.
But we could pass that here.
Well, we have strong leadership here, and that's what it takes. Strong leadership to, small steps to get to where we want to be. Decriminalizing prostitution for young girls was a good step this year, and we're going to build on that. With our strong leadership in the legislature and the service providers and the non-governmental organizations pulling together, and with support, with law enforcement and people that just have awareness. I think we're on a good roll here, and we'll keep going next
I'm
session.
very proud of you. I'm very proud that you, as a man, are stepping up and helping this,
Well, thank you.
this organization.
It's the right thing to do for anybody, man, woman, or child.
Exactly.
We all want the same thing. We all want
Most of these girls
to stop this violence,
stop the violence,
stop this
yeah.
demand,
Yes.
and get a message out there that this cannot remain the hidden crime anymore. We need to.
Yeah, they always act like it's a victimless crime. Like, well, yeah, but the women are being victimized.
Plenty of victims out there that we
Every
need to help.
time a man buys a woman for sex, it turns her to a victim.
Yep.
Anyway,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That we have worked with in some way that have either committed suicide because they just couldn't handle it anymore. It's not easy to get out of this life once you get in it. Not easy at all. They've either committed suicide or they've been killed. Something has happened to them. And some of them just died with nobody ever remembering their names. Today what we want to do is we want to say their names. And we want to remember them. And we want to keep them in our hearts. And there's people out here that have cards that are going to get up and read just a little bit about them and say something about them. And so we just want you all to be prayerful as we do this.
I'm glad that you could witness this event today at Breaking Free in St. Paul. We will be doing many events. If you would like for us to come and have an event with you, whatever the issue may be, we'd be glad to be there. And I also have a talk show on Channel 15. If you would like to be interviewed by me, please get in touch with me at breakingmysounds.net or rapfire9@AOL.com. And have a wonderful evening. Thank you.